Hello, how are you?
Hey, how are you?
My name's Diego.
Nice to meet you,
Nice to meet
Diego.
you.
KENDRA.
Hi, Kendra. Nice to see you. Hi, Matthew. I'm Cynthia.
Hi, I'm KENDRA, and this is Diego, and that's Matthew. And today we're going to be interviewing Cynthia Lieberman. She has a lot of experience in the entertainment industry and is now a professor at UCLA. So, Cynthia, how about you tell us a little bit about your background?
Thanks, you guys. Nice to see you, and thanks for having me. I've worked at every studio, including I just did a project for Disney. I've worked in advertising, promotion, publicity. I love production, but ultimately now I get to teach also. In addition to, I have my own business, but I get to teach at UCLA social media marketing, influencer marketing, PR, and how to get your project discovered in Hollywood. So I get to do everything I love.
That's really cool.
That's really interesting. Do you think it was hard work or luck that got you where you are today?
You know, there's a saying, the harder you work, the luckier you get.
Yeah.
So if I didn't have an answer, I always got an answer. I started in the payroll department, which is, if you've ever called anyone about your paycheck, that's lower than the mailroom because people get very funny about their money. And I started as an assistant. I wanted to be a writer. I went to school at night. For 10 years, I don't recommend it. Just get your education done right away if you can.
Yeah.
But I did. I was able to work, go to school, and while I was doing that, I just kept working hard, following my dreams. And if I didn't, the harder I worked, the luckier I got. But if you don't try, you don't get.
That's
Yeah.
Sure. Is there a certain part of your personality that best fits this career? If so, what is it?
Well, in the entertainment business, for sure, it starts with my passion. You know, I'm fearless. I think a lot of people get courage and confidence mixed up. I love creativity and I love writing, and I just stay true to what I like to do.
So, did anyone discourage you from this career, or did anyone pressure you into a different career?
So, did anyone discourage me? I was raised that be careful working in the entertainment business. Are you sure you want to work with those Hollywood people? They're not very nice. Kindness is not a job requirement in Hollywood for sure. But you still can be kind and you still can be creative. There's lots of great people in the industry. So I was discouraged also, that it's so hard to get in the business.
For sure.
But after doing it for all these years, it allowed me to be a teacher and to share my knowledge with other people.
So, did you have any small failures along the way?
I have had many peaks and valleys. The thing is that even if you take risks and you fail, you cannot succeed if you don't fail. If you don't try, how many times have Ben Franklin put the thing up in the sky with the key? You do experiments. That's what scientists do, and they fail more than they succeed. But then when you hit the mark, it's so great.
What would you tell your 15-year-old self?
To step into my power. We all have our own power. I'm led by the higher power. For me, God is my highest power. But step into your power. No one else can do. Only you can do what you do. I cannot do what you do. I can't do what you do. I can't do what you do. Not the way you do it. We all do things in our individual capabilities. Believe in yourself. I let too many other people just dictate what my power was in my life.
What advice would you give to someone who wants to get into your career path?
Be authentic, be true, be focused, and believe in yourself. I think all those things are really important in any career that you pursue, whether you want to be a mechanic or an artist or a lighting designer or whatever it is you want to do. Always just make sure that your center inside is importantly focused.
Are there any questions I didn't ask that you want to talk about?
Well, I think it's interesting that the transition in my career, you would ask, how did I go from one to the other? I didn't give up. I just got finished doing a Disney project. I'm working on an AR/VR project. I'm working on digital media projects. Those pay me more for teaching for sure. But I get the benefit of teaching because I get to not only share my knowledge and learn from other people, but I have to know more to be able to teach it. So I really get the benefit of both.
Where can I find more information about this career?
Well, since we are all now, you don't leave home without your keys or your cell phone, at least when you start driving. But your parents, whatever, we go back for our phones, right? I think it's important to really think about your digital footprint And there are things like LinkedIn, and maybe you don't know what LinkedIn is. Ask your parents about it, or ask your teachers or your counselors about LinkedIn, because believe it or not, you can have a LinkedIn page right now that talks about, that shows videos or lists all of your accomplishments of sports or class or clubs or interests that you have. And you can start actually building a business profile now. And when you're on LinkedIn, you should look up LinkedIn and look and see and say, gee, I'm interested in being let's say a graphic designer. And you can go into this program, LinkedIn, and you type in graphic designer, and you can see what people do for a living in that
really
field. And you go, oh, and you can see how they describe themselves, and you can see what their education is.
Wow.
And you can kind of figure out, that sounds like me.
Yeah, that sounds helpful.
Start following them. Maybe make friends with them as you get in, a little bit further along. Say, I'd love to just have a phone conversation with you. Could I just talk to you sometime about what you do? And then that helps you kind of define if this is really something you're interested in.
Yeah.
What type of education is needed for this career?
Well, there's an actress, she's not around anymore, her name is Joan Rivers, and she's reputed to say that she walked into a Hollywood party one time, and she walked around and she looked at everybody there and said, have you ever seen so many C+ students in one room?
Ooh.
Wow. that just hurt.
Oh.
But, and you know what, to some degree, there's a certain talent that there's different levels of intelligence, that's true. But now, everything is so complicated, you have to have a better education than ever. You really do need to have more than just good instincts to be in the entertainment business or to be in marketing or anything, especially in just about any business. The world is flat now. The global, everything's erased because of communications, because of tools. 90% of the world in 2021 will have a mobile phone.
Whoa.
Wow.
It's amazing, right? So you have to have an education. It's really important to have an education more than ever. Whether you want to be a teacher or a graphic designer, you got to figure out how to tell your story so you can make money, right? Because it's all about survival.
How does someone in your position advance in your career, or what are the advancement requirements?
For me, being a university professor, because it's not been my career and now it's part of my career, I eventually, I guess I could go back to get a PhD. I don't know that's really what I want, but in the academic field, getting published, becoming someone that's of noted record, getting research papers, having having the New York Times, or Wall Street Journal, or some international speaking engagements or books. Those are usually the academic career's path, is doing something like that. I don't know that I'm going to do that. I'm happy what I'm doing now. I get to do everything I love, so it was really great being on your show.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
A great interview with Cynthia Lieberman, and one big thing I took away was that LinkedIn's a really important thing and it can really help you with your career. So I think I'm going to actually make a LinkedIn profile.
After talking to Cynthia Lieberman, something that I really took in was sticking to what you know. So later in life, you can actually apply it and do things really good and better.
I learned to work hard to get what you want.